Donald Trump. Have you guys ever heard of him? Is he a new name?
Oh, no, we've heard of him.
In your resume, you never heard of Donald? Yeah, we all know who Donald Trump is.
Yep.
And one of the things I always said about the trial with Donald Trump is, how is this guy going to be judged by a jury of his peers? We're all right to a fair and speedy trial. How does he get a fair trial in the state of New York by a jury of his peers? This is a billionaire former president. This has never happened before. And you got 12 jurors being like, okay, he's one of my peers. Donald J. Trump, former president, billionaire. Very hard, very complicated. But here's where I'm at with Donald Trump. But we're going to do the run through right now. Get ready that clipped little montage here. Let me know when that's pulled up. But I have a very unique take on Donald Trump. I feel like, if I may, one of the few people that can actually give an unbiased take on Donald Trump. Now, people might be saying, what the, you, bro, you're the guy? I actually think I am, and I'll tell you why. Let's play the clip first, and we'll get right into Donald Trump and the situation with being guilty, 34 counts.
This Sunday, guilty.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge.
Donald Trump becomes the first American president convicted of a felony after a New York jury found him guilty of 34 counts of falsifying business records.
I did my job. We did our job. The only voice that matters is the voice of the jury, and the jury has spoken.
It's reckless. It's dangerous. It's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
How will the historic verdict impact the 2024 race?
The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people.
My guest this...
Okay. That was a nice little mashup right there, a little montage right there. We had a couple people in that video. We had Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, leading candidate of the Republican Party, just convicted 34 crimes. We had Joe Biden basically saying, you're calling it rigged, DJT. I'm saying that it's reckless to do that. We had Alvin Bragg, the, how do we say this, compromised district attorney in New York. We actually have some insight about what his former, let's say boss, Cyrus Vance, who was the former Manhattan district attorney, had to say. A lot of things going on there in New York. And I'll tell you where I'm at with Trump. And you guys tear me apart if you don't believe me. I truly, truly believe, especially in mainstream media, if you go on the left, CNN, MSNBC, pretty much all the three-letter cable networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, those guys are going to skew left, especially if you're looking at late-night comedy. Colbert, Fallon, Kimmel. I mean, it's pretty lefty over there. Then if you go right, you got Fox, you got OAN, you got even Breitbart, whatever you want to say with that. Other publications out there, Fox Business, that obviously skew right. I don't know many independent media outlets or independent, fair talking heads on YouTube. So whether you have Alex Jones on the right, whether you have Cenk Uygur on the left, whether you have the Andrew Tates of the world or the Fresh and Fits of the world, whether you have the Sam Cedars of the world or the Kyle Kalinskis of the world, whether you have the Tim Pools of the world, you know where they stand. With me,
you never know.
You don't really know where I stand.
Yeah, you never
these
know where
days.
you stand. Yeah.
You don't really know where I stand. Now, even PBD, I don't want to put his business out there. He's a registered independent, but I think it's safe to say he's voting for Trump. He's only said that a gazillion times. Even on the PBD podcast, I get a lot of heat for being, quote unquote, the leftist, communist, Marxist, ridiculous, LGBT, gay, woke Jew. No, I'm just a moderate dude.
What a title.
Okay, we know where Vinny stands on this. We know where BizDoc stands on this. Now, full disclosure, I was not a fan of Donald Trump. I did not vote for him in 2016, and I did not vote for him in 2020. In fact, I won thousands and thousands of dollars betting everybody on the PBD podcast. I said, Donald Trump's not winning this election. I'm sorry.
I remember.
They go, what are you talking about? Of course he's going to win. I said, the country's over him. The country's over him. So I put all my money, I put my money where my mouth is, and I put my money on Joe Biden. And I,
Don't say
sorry guys, laughed all the way to the bank. I told you so. But now, 2024, here's the beauty of two different case examples. We've seen 4 years of the, let's just say, chaos president. Donald Trump is what they called him. But then we've seen almost 4 years of the zombie president, Joe Biden, and it has a lot of independent, left-leaning Democrats saying, I don't know if I can do this thing anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm totally in that camp at this point. Can I really do 4 more years of Joe Biden? Can the country take 4 more years of Joe Biden? So, have I been critical of Trump? Yes. Am I currently critical of Biden? Yes. Am I able to be fair and call balls and strike almost like an umpire saying, yeah, I don't like what Trump did there, but I like what he did there. Biden, I got to tell you, I don't like what he's doing, but come on, guys. The whole Biden can't even put 2 sentences together. Can barely even tie his shoes. And then he gets up there on the State of the Union and yells at people for an hour and a half. It's pretty sure that was at least 10 to 20 sentences, if not 1,000 sentences. So there's going to be people out there that are basically going to say, well, this is the way it is. I'm completely, and I mean this unbiased. I'm seeking the truth, not a narrative. And I want to do my best job, especially during the election, to be fair and balanced. I know Fox says that we're fair and balanced. You think Fox is fair and balanced? So that's why I want to give that disclaimer before we get into the stories about Trump. Comments, questions, concerns, Natalia?
Yeah, I want to know, how did you become so right in the center? You went from one way to essentially kind of moving over to the other way. What keeps you kind of grounded in the center without being, swayed or convinced to lean a little bit more to one area?
So,
and I know you're going to say follow the money, but I also want to consider, having that mindset, not being, I'm somebody who went from a little bit maybe left leaning, and now I'm definitely more right leaning.
You were in the Barack Obama camp.
Yeah, I was. I was like, yeah, let's bring Obama in and see what he can do. And now that I'm older and I understand more about the politics, I've seen the repercussions of that, and so I've even catch myself being very, I love Trump. Let's go Trump. Let's put some policies into place. But how do you, someone who's been in the political space, have these conversations, stay so centered with knowing what these people have done? What is kind of that grounds you to stay there?
There's very few politicians I look up to. I'm not like, oh, I love Trump. Oh, I love Obama. You know who I love?
The money?
No, I love America.
Okay.
I want the best for America. I would love for a politician, one day, it's not going to happen in 2024, maybe by 2028, maybe after this chaotic political season, I would love to see a president, whether it's on the Republican side of things, Democratic side of things, get to a 60% approval rating. What does that mean? If you look at the approval ratings right now, Trump's in the low 40s, Biden's barely in 40. This race to the bottom, you're not even getting 50% approval, meaning half the country does not even like you. The other half the country, even more so, hates you. Maybe they'll vote for you. They'll stand for you. We know Trump's base, 30, 40% of the country, absolutely loves this guy. We know Biden's base is very few. It's just people that really hate Trump. 80 million people didn't necessarily vote for Biden. They voted against Trump. But I love red, white, and blue. You're talking to somebody that my father was a big JFK guy. I was fascinated, Natalia, by the Civil War.
Wow.
I mean, I had posters in it was very weird.
Why?
I had 3, I don't know. I loved history. I had 3 different types of posters in my room when I was a kid. I had sports players, Isaiah Thomas, I'm a Pistons fan, Dan Marino, right? Michael Jordan, I had all that. And then I had Pamela Anderson, Baywatch,
totally
Carmen Electra, chicks, come on.
Of course.
And then I had Civil War posters. You know how you put posters up in your room?
Yeah.
It was very intriguing. I was like, what do you mean? Us in America as a kid, 10, 12, 15 years old, we went to war against each other? Why?
Yeah.
Slavery? What? My friend? No, I don't. Why would they do? I was so intrigued by this. And I learned of a guy called Abraham Lincoln. He was a president, Republican.
Right.
I said, I like this guy. Freed the slaves.
Yeah.
I mean, hello? I kind of, hey
like
guys,
that.
if you're going to stand for something, stand against slavery.
Yeah.
Stand against
I agree.
the persecution of human beings. Let's
Do that.
Let's do that. Not hard to do. And then my father was a JFK guy. So I had this hero of Abraham Lincoln. I also had this sort of folklore hero, Camelot president, JFK. Right? This is all before my time.
Right.
And then Bill Clinton comes along, and here's this guy. He's like, hey, how you doing? All right, you know, he's out there kissing black babies and high-fiving and doing his thing. Dave Chappelle did a whole skit on this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like this guy. He's kind of cool. And he wasn't like this stodgy George H.W. Bush, you know, who's a Reagan guy. I liked Reagan too. So the point is, I've looked at Republicans and Democrats, and I like good things about them, but I don't like idolize any president during my lifetime, right? You idolize the JFKs of the world, the Abraham Lincolns of the world. So what's my point? I don't have anyone that I'm like, that's my guy. But I will say this, because you asked me where am I at politically.
Yeah.
There's actually evidence of where I'm at politically, and I'll tell you a story. So PBD, in 2019, we get to talking. Hey, what are you doing with Valuetainment? Because I met Pat in 2012, for those of you guys that don't know this. I met Pat in 2012 at a financial conference. I represented my company. I'd be all over the country. You know, marketing my financial company out there, and PBD was doing the exact same thing. We met working out in a gym at this event. We get to talking. Fast forward, we keep in touch. I see what he's doing on social media. He encourages me to start doing social media. We start talking in 2019. All right, I think we're going to do something. Boom. Kobe dies. Oh my God, that's crazy. Oh my God. All right, let's circle back after. Oh my God, COVID just happened. What the hell? Finally, like, I have this opportunity to work with PBD. It's in my hands.
Yeah.
And I said, COVID be damned. I'm making my way to go team up with PBD to Dallas. And he said, listen, before you come here, I got to know a couple things. Number one, what skeletons are in your closet? I was like, I was a groomsman in the Kardashian Humphreys wedding.
There's some blackmail in there?
There's a different kind of blackmail going on with the Kardashians. Hey-o. But I don't know, like, I'm pretty open book. Like, I say what's on my mind. I'm out there. Like,
yeah, he's out
so
there.
he goes, okay, cool. There's nothing you need to know. Where do you stand politically? Are you a Trump fan? No. Are you a Bernie Sanders fan? No. Who do you like? I said, if I had to pick somebody, it would be the Democratic senator in the reddest state in the country, West Virginia. His name is Joe Manchin. He said, tell me why you like Joe Manchin. And I said, Joe Manchin is a very reasonable guy. And he's a Democrat. But how does a Democrat get elected in the reddest state in the country? Okay? That's like Florida, pretty like anti-woke.
Right.
That's like a progressive leftist getting elected governor ahead of DeSantis. What? Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because this guy just has common sense. And he's been a Democrat, he's been a Democrat, he's been a Democrat. But look what he just announced this week. Joe Manchin just officially announced that he is now officially an independent.
Wow.
He is no longer a Democrat. The coal-loving senator from West Virginia's decision to leave the Democratic Party is honestly the least destructive choice he could have made. Why? Because, you know, I didn't leave the Democratic Party, so to speak. The Democratic Party left me. Now, I'm a registered independent, and again, admittedly, wasn't a Trump guy. But after 4 years of Biden, hey, America first, y'all.
Right.
Because, you know, there's one thing to cling to your position. No, I would never. You know, it's blue or nothing. I would never. Dems before thems, always. That's what it is. And like, you're not willing to say, yeah, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not my thing. Now, I'm not a loyalist to Trump. I'll tell you where I think he screws up. There's a lot of people, they'll say, I'll vote for Trump, but I don't like these certain things. There's just like, I voted for Biden, and there's a ton of things that I don't like.
Right.
So you asked where I stand politically.
Yeah.
I'm dead even to Senate. I'm a very moderate person. Last point, when PBD came out with his book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, I said, I don't really have a lot of enemies, despite what we kind of see on the online comments on the PBD podcast. Love you guys. In real life, I don't have a lot of enemies.
That's true.
So what I realized is the following. My enemies are two polar opposites, radical extremes. On one end, it's complete extremists, whether it's jihadists, whether it's neo-Nazis, whether it's fascists, whether it's communists, whether it's just anyone who is hardline, not reasonable, unwilling to compromise and change, and will fight you to the death for their position. You're not going to compromise at all? Nah, I can't play that game. On the other end, sloppiness.
Yeah, I know you hate that.
Just sloppiness.
I know you hate that.
Whether
so
it's
much.
how you keep your house, whether that's how to keep yourself,
Yep.
whether that's the way you look. That one girl, I went in her car one time. I was like, what, did a bomb explode here? Disgusting.
Yes.
I don't do business with sloppy people. If you look sloppy, if you act sloppy, if you work sloppy, tighten it up.
Yeah.
On one end, loosen up in it, bro.
Right.
On one end, tighten up a little bit. Tighten up, clean it up.
Yes.
So that's where I stand politically. So now I started this saying, basically, I can be an arbiter of truth and tell you actually what's going on there in the marketplace, the political marketplace, and actually speak the truth. So that's where I stand on Donald Trump. I'm a registered independent. America first. I'm not here for the red. Not here for the blue.
Here for the
I'm here for the red, white, and blue. And the green, and the green, and the money. Save that money. So that's where I'm at politically. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
You look like you want to say something. Yeah. Dígame. What did you want to know?
Nothing else.
Let's turn her microphone up because I want to hear my friend Alejandra.
I think that's also what people, they may like about you, but I think that's also what grinds people's gears is because you are so in the middle. And
Oh, yeah.
And I can say that because it grinds my gears sometimes how so much you're in the middle of certain situations. But I can appreciate that because it allows me that I've learned to not react in an emotional way and really think in the logical sense, right? Even there's right and there's wrong, you know, you have to come to that gray area that you shared. So as much as people hate you for kind of being so strongly in the middle, I think it's needed. I think today having that.
I want more hate. I want
know,
more hate.
I think
want
it's
more
needed.
hate. But I appreciate you guys. I don't want all the hate, but I want
No.
it's listen. The best thing you can be is be loved and helping people. And I believe I do that. The next best thing you can be is hated
Yeah.
and being the grinding of the gears. The worst thing you can be, number 3 on this list, is irrelevant. I have no clue what this guy is.
Yes.
That's not what we're doing here.
No.
Let's move right along.
Let's do it.
Okay. So now you know where I stand politically. Now you know what's going on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If you like that one, click right here to watch the full SOSCAST. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.